The Eagles limp into bye week with a tough loss, but more importantly, some injuries. Hello, everybody. Terry Bennett here on the Holliday Eagle Football Show, right here on S2S Sports, part of L4 Media, as the Eagles fall to Jim Ned in a tough battle, 17-15, as Jim Ned kicked a field goal with like 9 minutes left in the game, but Holliday could never get back into scoring position to at least try a field goal. Really tough game, beat up, injuries. We'll talk to Coach Atwood about that. Not only injuries in the game, but an injury that happened a couple weeks ago that has now turned out to be possibly worse than it was before. And just a tough spot of the year for the Eagles. The bye week came at the exact perfect time to give the Eagles a week off before they hit 6-3 Division II play. All right, as always, we're going to be talking to Coach Atwood. If you have any questions, thoughts, or comments for him for next week's show, email them to me, Terry at S2SSport.com. Still looking for sponsors. Really need sponsors for the show, so please help out. Terry at S2SSport.com. But we're going to take a break, and when we come back, it is Coach Atwood right here on the Holliday Eagle Football Show. Do you have a kid that plays sports? Are you yourself a weekend warrior? Then I'm going to tell you something. Check out NeuroGuardPlus.com. That's NEURO GuardPlus.com. It's a mouthpiece that can not only help with concussions, but can dramatically affect the way you perform. And the mission of NeuroGuard is to, of course, reduce the risk of suffering a concussion when participating in any contact sport, military, anything that you're doing physical that you could take a blow to the head. You might want to put in a NeuroGuard mouth guard. And as I said, it not only helps eliminate concussions, it helps you perform better by simply aligning your jaw properly. And that sounds like such a simple thing, but it is so important because it allows oxygen to get to your brain. And when you get oxygen to the brain, you don't have that fog of sports or that fog of war where you get confused. And if you've ever played football, you know that's a sport where that can happen. Especially, man, you're in there in the trenches and you take a shot to the side and all of a sudden things are spinning. This mouth guard will help you keep focus by, again, simply keeping oxygen going to your brain 100%. Again, check them out, NeuroGuardPlus.com. And if you play sports, if you have a kid that plays sport, if you do something physical, one of the things that Dr. Hutchinson, the creator of this, was talking about was some people will use it when they're doing yard work and when they're mowing and things like that, where they're being physically active because they know it helps align their jaw and it keeps oxygen going to the brain, which also helps your lungs, by the way, when you can have full breath every time as you're performing. So again, check them out, NeuroGuardPlus.com.
Hi, I'm Josh Bell with the Miami Marlins. I wear NeuroGuard to help with strength and coordination when I'm in the weight room and help with balance when I'm on the baseball.
Terry Bennett back here on the Holliday Football Show. Now joined by the head coach of the Eagles, Coach Kyle Atwood. And, Coach, you go into the bye week with another tough loss to Jim Ned. This year, a little bit different. It was a very defensive game. What were your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I was extremely proud of our kids, their effort, and the way we played last Friday night against Jim Ned in Jim Ned. Quite a few injuries going into the game, a couple of major injuries in the middle of the game that really changed the dynamic of our team, and our kids just have that next man up mentality. So the kids that jumped in there did a heck of a job, and we competed and had an opportunity with about 2 minutes left to pick up a first down and get us within field goal range to win it or score there at the end of the game, and we were about half a yard short. So the kids competed really hard, and we played really well against a dang good Jim Ned team.
Well, when you're in a game and you have key injuries at key positions, as a coaching staff, is there a conversation of, okay, we need to strip this part of the playbook for the rest of the game, or is it just, hey, this is 100% what we do and we're going to keep doing it?
Yeah, so we had our quarterback go out, which he's thrown for almost 2,000 yards in 4.5 games. So obviously we're pretty high passing attack offensively, but we did a pretty good job, and our kids did a really good job over the spring and the summer of going through quarterback school and preparing. And so the kid that popped in there, his very first play from scrimmage in the middle of the third quarter, he throws a 50-yard vertical pass to Ashton Berry, gets tackled at the 1, and then runs quarterback outside zone for a touchdown. So 2 plays, he picks up 55 yards, 1 on the ground for a touchdown himself and throwing. And so he stepped in there and did a heck of a job. So we didn't really change the game plan. Obviously, he's a little bit quicker and not as efficient passing wise right now. So we ran the ball a little bit more with them and a lot of back run game. If you were at the game or able to watch the film, you could tell that, Jim Ned was really good up front defensively. Linebackers played really hard and played downhill. So it's pretty difficult for us to run the ball with 5 on 5.5. But we could run it effectively with 6 on 5.5. So quarterback run, and that's kind of what they were giving us. And Brady did a good job midway through the third quarter and the entire fourth quarter of running the ball and really taking what they give us when we threw it.
Defensively, very impressive game against, I think, one of the more underrated offenses in the area this year in Jim Ned.
Yeah, they're really big and physical up front. They run the ball extremely well. Quarterback is a dang good quarterback. He had a phenomenal game against us last year, week 2. Week 3 against Wall in the second quarter, tears his ACL and is out for the remainder of the year. So a lot of people probably don't put enough stock into their quarterback as much as should be, because he's a heck of a player and he's done a really good job this year of leading that offense. And so we felt like we had a really good defensive game plan. Same thing goes, leader of our defense, Parker Jones at the Mike linebacker position. We thought suffered an ankle sprain. And 2 weeks ago against Ben Brook, wind up, he had a broken leg that we were unaware of. And so, you've got the youth at the linebacker position, which really sets our front and runs our front. And they did a phenomenal job. It's just, they didn't have quite the experience that we had going into that thing. And then, defensive tackle, Jimmy Hamill goes out with a concussion. And so we're a little bit weak up front, but our kids knew the game plan. They got in there. They were physical. They played fast. They played violent. And we did a really good job of holding them. They were able to pick up to score twice and get one field goal. And that's like you said, it's a really, really good offense. We did a phenomenal job. We just didn't execute offensively as well as we could have or should have. So we're back to the drawing board and excited about, open up district play against Millsap next week. And I think our kids will be ready to play both offensively and defensively.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like, honestly, the bye is coming at the perfect spot for y'all to, if nothing else, just to heal up a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. We were able to go back to just the fundamentals. And so some of those kids that weren't necessarily tagged as starters, a couple of those kids that we brought up from the JV that have been starting for us, they're able to get more fundamental reps rather than, hey, here's what we're doing this week. This is what we've got game plan this week. And so it's been really good for those guys. And then the guys that are out with injuries, just another week for them to shore up health and, get themselves ready to play going into the most important part of the season, which is our district play.
Here at L4 Media, we talk high school football, 4A, 3A, and 2A in Texas. We talk East Texas sports. We talk NFL, guy talk, movie and booze. We also talk wrestling and so much more. And you can see it all on our YouTube channel at L4 Media Company. Like and subscribe. As always, we want to thank Coach Atwood for joining us. A little bit shorter interview this week, bye week, and he was taking care of some personal stuff. I really do appreciate him taking the time to do this weekly interview with me. Apologies for last week. I always record the holiday. When we started at the beginning of the year, we were recording them on Tuesday, but now we're recording them on Thursday. And Thursday last week, after already having some other things happen where we had no shows on the network at all last week. And normally Sideline to Sideline, our state show, we kind of take a bye week that week anyway. I might do some special interviews, but we kind of take a week off from doing the in-studio show. And we didn't even do any of those. And then so Thursday I woke up ready to do the Thursday shows and my throat was swollen. I wasn't sick, like feeling bad, but I guess I had allergies and I would stopped up when I slept, and I slept with my mouth open next to a fan. And anyway, I couldn't even talk. So I do apologize for not having a show, but we are back this week. And again, Thanks to Coach Atwood for taking the time. Busy day for him as he's taking care of some personal stuff with it being a bye week. And next week we'll get more into the district and how he thinks of where the district is as we start district play. Everybody has a bye this week. And I've got a couple coaches. In fact, 4 of the shows I think I do, their districts all have the same bye week. And I'm telling you what, I kind of like that. I like that more than the revolving bye week inside district play. I like all the teams having a bye week and then get that break. Everybody kind of take a breath, get healed up as much as possible. And for Holliday, that's going to be tough. The Parker Jones situation, man, that just blows your mind. You think it's one thing, and then it turns out to be something else, and it could be something that's going to take many weeks to get and hope he's back by the playoffs type of deal. So Holliday's definitely up against it. Now, they're going to start district play with 2 teams that they should be able to take care of. That's going to help. But that last 3 stretch, man, City View, Henrietta, and Jacksboro, that's going to be an interesting stretch. That's going to decide who you're playing where in the playoffs. You don't want to get to where you're getting Gunner in the second round. You want to get Gunner at the end of the region if you can help it, or at least at the region semifinal. But hey, the real football begins next week. And again, if you have any questions, thoughts, or comments, email them to me, Terry at s2ssport.com. Also, please, we could use a sponsor for this show. Please reach out, Terry at s2ssport.com. And next week, we'll be talking district play right here on the Holliday Eagle Football Show on L4 Media.